So, another live stream on a Friday night. Hi, Ginger. And thanks, Freddie LaChance, for the follow. So what are we doing today? It's a good question, actually. So I randomly found another 6800K earlier, which is really surprising. The only thing I can think of is that maybe it's the one I thought was dead, but actually isn't. Because it's deleted and it's got nail polish on it. So that would point towards it being the chip from LiveStream 70 something. Let's just quickly have a look. How's everyone doing? Still in lockdown, believe it or not. So here's our little list of previous streams. We gotta go to the AMD section, and it's FM2, Richland, LiveStream 32. It's an old one. So, and it was Country Cup prep, so nice. Is this gonna load for me? Wow, that was a long intro. Hey, Richland, yes. So yeah, different time. I always have this issue where, as you see my entire YouTube feed, this issue where the right gets cut off like this. So this chip did 7.8. I had another chip that did 7.9. Well, okay. So I don't have the lid for this anymore. It has a 5800K lid on it. So I'm not actually sure what this chip is. It might just be a random, but I'm assuming it's the first 6800K I ever had, which means it would be the chip that was used in this stream. It's weird how it doesn't like give me a suggestion of the second part of this video straight away. Yeah, part 2. Okay, 2 hours, here we go. Somewhere back here it died, or I thought it died. So this was still on the crossblade. Happy grand final weekend. Oh, highlighted message, nice. So yeah, for those who, here we go. Wow, I had a really strong fan on this thing. Holy shit. So this chip I ran direct die on the crossblade Ranger, and I was attempting for 8G on FM2, which I still don't have. And it was a great fun stream that went on for a long time, but in the end the motherboard showed 0-0. So I thought the chip was dead. I think I tried it again after, but the thing is it's deleted. So for AMD deleted chips, just the way the IHS is shaped and stuff, unless you apply the right pressure on top of the chip, since the IHS is not being held down like on Intel, you'll actually get a 0-0 on some boards just because of not enough mounting pressure. So I think this is this chip come back to life. So frequency wise, yes. So my current best run is a little bit better. Just pause this. So this is the best run, which I did on the UP4. So this is a 7893, which seems quite far away. But then if you look at, so 137, so the boards don't have fractional, most of the boards at least don't have fractional BCLK. So it's like 138, I think. Yeah, so it's 2 BCLK away, so it's really not that far away. So this is a different chip. This is the chip number 2. This is the sub. So that's again one more BCLK lower, I guess. Well, it's a different multi. This is the chip I used. Yeah, so on Intel, what happens is basically it overheats. So I delit it with the Der Bauer delitter. I then scrape off the glue from the outside and then put the lid back on, but the lid is just floating. So you can put paste under there, but the way I like bin chips and test chips especially, I don't really have an air cooler anymore, and I don't really use like retention brackets or anything anymore. So even with the F1 pot just sat on there is not enough mounting pressure to stop it from overheating during post. So it'll hang during post. Now this chip, I ended up basically it wouldn't post unless I had the water block mounted down like that. So yeah, or maybe the board was wet or whatever, you know. Could have been any number of factors. So basically, I like did a daytime stream. I don't know why I remember this so well, but anyway, I did a daytime stream where I did an 8 gigahertz attempt. I got to this 7840. I still had vCore headroom, so I still felt like the chip could maybe do 8G, and then I started getting 00s, and I was like, oh well, that's live direct die. You know, you risk your chip doing direct die, lesson learned sort of thing. And I just tore down, and then maybe a day later I maybe did a small just post check. But because I was working from the assumption that my chip was dead, I mean I was at 1.95 vCore, I think. The fact that it threw 00 the next day felt like a kind of affirmation of the chip being dead. But now I find this chip, I went through all my FM2 chips, and I find this chip with an 5800K lid on it. I'm like, what is this? Because I've only ever owned 4 6800Ks, and these are the other 3. So what is this chip that's currently in the system? Okay, so that's a lot of preamble. I'm currently having the issue of not being able to set clocks on this board. So my Crossblade Ranger was quite good for iGPU. I do remember running, I think, a Firestrike Team Cup iGPU stage on it previously, but the Crossblade Ranger is dead. It lost a channel first, so it was like a validation only board, and then next it lost. It's been a hot day. It was like a 28-degree day. Next it just lost the second channel as well. So my Crossblade Ranger is gone. I would usually use that for iGPU. So the next best thing, I mean, I have a Wi-Fi board, a gigabyte Wi-Fi board, but that's just messy because it doesn't have buttons, it doesn't have a LED display and stuff. So the next best thing is an A88X UP4, but now I'm finding EasyTune doesn't want to install. The GPU clocks I set in BIOS don't apply. So I get this sort of thing. If anyone in chat knows, I tested it in the bench as well. If anyone in chat knows this symptom, so it's got 1000 applied, and default clock's 844, but it just sticks to 844. So, and I think yeah, I might have to like fiddle around with stuff. Like for example, please show me gut BIOS. God damn it, capture card. And the other great thing is 15 means it's posting. So this 7-segment display, well, this like post screen, 15 means hung, and 15 also means it's going to post. So it's not very informative. Okay, I think I need to clear CMOS. And yeah, iGPU scores on gigabyte. But can't you also overclock the iGPU via BCLK? Maybe people are using that workaround. Overdrive. Let me see what I have in terms of overdrive. So I don't know how long the stream is going to go on for, but potentially what I want to do is, for God's sake, the other thing is it doesn't clear CMOS. Like I just pulled the battery. What's oh, there is a clear CMOS switch, I think. Okay, overdrive. Yeah, so in the absolutely ideal scenario, I would bin all 4 iGPUs on ambient and then take the best one cold and also try for 8G first. But let's see if that really materializes. I've never somehow my capture cards have gotten worse at showing bias, which is weird to say the least. Oh, there we go. Okay, so latest BIOS version. I think this might make the score worse. But what I want to do is, I mean, even like 950, is keep all the power saving options on auto, and then post at a higher iGPU setting. And then if that solves the issue, then I'll have to selectively disable the power saving settings and make sure I'm not losing scores by, as it literally just doesn't boot. Oh, just really slow. Man, I swear my capture card used to be better at this. I don't even get it. Okay. Yeah, really nice Haswell score, Mick. Honestly, impressive. It's not easy doing iGPU on cold. The other thing is, so GPZ is really slow on this system. I think I can just get rid of this post display. It's just comical. I mean, it really doesn't tell you anything. Hello, GPZ. Any day now. Oh, so grand final GF weekend. I started explaining that earlier. Is the AFL grand final. So AFL is Australian Football League. So Australian football is this weird, just bastard child of just regular football. It's not really football even. It's an oval pitch, and there's, I think, 15 aside, and there's these upright posts. There's no goalies. There's these upright posts, and you can score in between the inside upright posts, and that's worth more points than in between the outside upright posts. And that's all I know about it. And in certain states in Australia, grand final day is actually a holiday, and that's today. I'd really like to just run render tests instead of having to waste my time running a single GT and checking the clocks. I don't want to create a tray icon. Okay, so 950. That's somehow even worse. Okay. Overdrive N tool? Is that the way to go? I mean, let's just try it. Of course, I don't have 7-zip on here, so that was dumb. I think people need to stop obsessing over compression ratios. Just using 7-zip because it's slightly more efficient or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Let's try this. Oh, that's right. It's just a single application. I think it needs admin access, right? Yeah. Damn, driver 17.72 or newer. The newest is 16 on this stuff. Tell you what, I'll do a stock run. So yeah, I went to Ted tested. How are you doing? I went to the Melbourne Cricket Ground to watch a derby of two Melbourne AFL teams, and I mean I'm into a lot of different sports, but it didn't really make much sense to me. So just to give an example, they you might be aware of the two different like models for game clock in team sports. So there's like the soccer, football, whatever model where you have set length halves or whatever, or quarters, and you don't necessarily stop the clock when there's a stoppage, and you just add time at the end. And then there's sort of like the basketball model where the clock gets stopped every time there's a stoppage. And I kind of like the basketball model because it's fair. It doesn't, you know, time wasting doesn't make any sense in basketball, whereas it does make sense in association football. But AFL for some reason has a mixture of both, where if I remembered right, you both have the clock stopping for big stoppages as well as have it run on for smaller stoppages. So you both stop the clock mid quarter but also have it run on sometimes, which means you still add time at the end, but it's at the ref's discretion how much time gets added, and the ref, he or she, just blows the whistle whenever they feel like it. So you can be in a situation where let's say a quarter is 20 minutes, the clock has already reached 20 minutes, it stops at 20 minutes, you just know you're in extra time, but you don't know how much extra time there's left. So you have like a situation where a play happens and you don't know if the play is significant or not, because you don't know if it's the last play of the game or not. And only afterwards, with the whistle, do you realize that play was really significant because someone made a defensive move that saved them the game because they were ahead by so little. So I find that just bizarre, the fact that, you know, you sort of retroactively make things more important by blowing the whistle. I don't know. It's just, I can't really wrap my head around it. And it's like, it's so random because there's like 30 plus people on, it's almost 40 people on the pitch, because you have like 6 umpires and 15 aside. So you have 36 people on the pitch, or even more. Like, it just gets too much. It just doesn't make any sense anymore after a certain point in time. Okay, I'm gonna download Amd Overdrive from chipset model supported 990FX. Doesn't talk about FM2 at all, but I'll just download it anyway. F7. Yeah, I might have to go F7. Thanks for the hint. That's actually something I'll definitely try, because it's easy to okay, 3100. It's kind of easy to just break iGPU overclocking, right, and nobody will necessarily complain. Okay, overdrive N first, or not overdrive N, but just Amd Overdrive. Two different things, and then next it's a bias flash. Let's do it. Yeah, memory, iGPU, CPU, everything. Okay. Worked for CPU clock. That's promising. Whatever smart profiles means. Yes, of course. Details. Okay, that's system info. Clock voltage. Ooh. Yes, we have a slider. Now, will it work? The suspense is killing me, but let's just hit OK and see what happens. I love how there's this big loading process on overdrive for applying clocks. It's just like literally just writing an integer to a register or whatever somewhere, like or just like doing a call to an API. It should be instant, but okay, as long as it works, I don't really care so much. Will it work? Won't it work? Ah, that sub process is got to vary though. That might be a little bit different. I don't know. Let's see. Let's not pass judgment just yet. This is I don't know if this is workable though. If it really is going to take that long. Oops. Trying to drag that around was a bad idea. Oof, it literally just crashed the system. Okay. Let's do a clean boot and do nothing but apply that setting. And if it still doesn't work, AM2, you mean FM2? Maybe means that it worked. Okay, that's a good point. I'll try and like overclock just like 50 megahertz. Yeah, there's no iGPU in AM2, so you probably mean FM2. Well, 2000 megahertz. Well, there's your problem right there. You want like Sammy's on at least 2400, and it depends on the bench a lot as well. Like something like Skydiver is very different to, I don't know, 3 Mark 03 or something. Already have a sore throat. I'll get another board that just came in this week. So as an AGP plus socket 754 stage this year, I don't know if I'll actually end up subbing because I'm running out of time, but I bought this board to help with that stage. So we've got AGP, we've got the Telltale single channel socket 754, yeah, and obviously terrible VRM, 4-pin only, and it's a VIA chipset because that's all I could get locally. But it's got a vCore up to 1.75, and it's got VDIM up to 2.8 or something, which I don't think is bad for DDR1 at all. And it's got 2 SATA. So this is, it's a K8 VX. It's more or less like, it's literally pretty much the only thing I could find locally. So that will actually be, more than likely, that will be the next stream. Some sort of Sempron binning on 754. Okay, get rid of our Overdrive and reopen Overdrive. Apply like, so 950 was an issue, so let's do 900. And this time, instead of pressing OK, I'll press apply. Just in case that's something else. That's something like, that's somehow going to do something else in this program. Yeah, I mean, depending on IG, like IMC and all that, but you'd want somewhere between 2400 and 2600 RAM for sure. And then you'll see better scaling. I'm getting my BIOS flash ready. Let's just put it this way. I'm not hopeful this whole process is gonna yield anything. Still spinning. Still spinning. Yeah, I just flat out crashed, so that's not good. Yeah, it's got iGPU clocking options, but it doesn't apply them. It doesn't they don't do anything. But let's flash to a different BIOS and see if it's different there. Eight. Okay, flash is on the way. You can't see it, but I can see it. Let's have a look at this stage then. So it's under the iGPU sub comp. And it's the second one here. So overclock.net is already first, but everyone's missing one. Everyone's missing one sub anyway. So the best sub so far has been, so FM2 Plus would be best in this. I don't have, the only thing FM2 Plus I have is the 7700K, not an Intel, an AMD A10 7700K, I guess. Yeah, like something like 78 70K or 70, isn't there a 79 something one as well? Those score really well. So here's our top two scores. Position is, hold on. Oh, this is GTs only. Okay, that's a shame. Hi, Kix. Good afternoon. Yeah, I remember the crossplay being pretty good. I think it was Team Cup 2018. I ran it. It was like DDR3 and Firestrike APU, yeah. Hopefully my sub's still there. Come on. Come on. Nobody likes the Intel 6800K. Such an overpriced chip. No hardware bought points. It has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Is my sub in here somewhere? Oh, yeah. BIOS update complete. Oh, 7650K. I guess I killed it. Yeah, I think I killed this actually. I went to like 1.65 iGPU volts or something. Yeah, 1200 clock. I mean, that's starting to get up there. Let me buy one quick. Come on, BIOS. Let me in. Okay. So we're on F7 BIOS. Let's do whatever, 925. Just in case that's an issue. Good morning, Sean Nathan Q. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome, welcome. We're doing some. Oh yes, I get different different BIOS codes now. Okay, I should have left that little display up. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit messy. So now we have the standard like AA for fully booted. Interesting that other beta BIOS just there we go. Just like completely fucked those up. Yeah, I'm just having issues clocking the iGPU, but it should be resolvable for sure. I'm not happy. Like, does GPU-Z have an XOC mode? That's what I want. I don't want any fancy sensor tabs or anything loaded up. I literally just want the main tab to load as quickly as possible. Like, why is this so slow? This is a quad core at 4 gigahertz. Like, what's I've got 8 gigabytes of RAM in here. There's what's could possibly be taking so long. X99. What a horrendous platform. Yes. You certainly have to love the platform to even consider to bench it, so I'll grant you that much. I mean, can I check like an afterburner somewhere that it's... Oh, no, that just... -5. Overdrive maybe, to at least see that it's registered those clocks. If you get me, like... No. I'm tempted just to do all core valids and then pick the best chip and just go for 8G. The way things are going. I could try Win 10. Doesn't seem very appealing though, I have to say. Something does seem kind of wonky about this installed, so I should try one more OS. Right. What have I got here? SP. That's not gonna help. SP 3D. Thanks for that tip. Right. It's a good start, isn't it? I'll just restore like a dirty Win 10. I don't really care. Ooh, I already have one with... Yes, let's restore this one. The one I used for CPU profile max, so it had the right system info on it and stuff. So, my old chiller setup. Look at that. I went so incredibly hard on this stage. I think this was the last day benching, and I just like 1.6 V-core, 1.6, 1.7 iGPU. I really didn't care. Like I was just like trying to pump out a score. How did it compare in the end? 5th out of 16. It's not amazing. I do remember that iGPU not being that great. It really does. I mean, this whole thing does appear to be an OS issue, maybe, and I should make sure that I can get what you call it, downloads, get a Windows 10 version of EasyTune installed, because I'd imagine. So what happened with Windows 7 was EasyTune didn't load. If EasyTune loads, I'd imagine that absolute worst case scenario, it has a slider for iGPU that only applies on reboot. So it'll let you pick and then apply on, like, force a reboot, but that's still better than not being able to set it all. So I've had that issue before. I think even on FM, my memory is so hazy. I just wish I still had my Crossblade. They're so hard to find. This is a platform that never had much of a footprint in Australia, I reckon. So Mr. Paco managed to do everyone's just running Crossblades, aren't they? This is a Crossblade. So I'm sure I've shared this before, but this is sort of my goal as well. Is I have, I think, 3 or 4 8 gigahertzes on AM3 Plus, and there's only Ratty is the only person in the world who's done 8G on all 3 sockets. 775, I'll only ever touch that if it's the last socket to get. But FM2, surprisingly, not so many have it. Back to our little stage. Ooh, I was just gonna say, damn, I used to have a DDR3 Vega laptop. Is that possible? That might have scored well in this kind of thing, but I sold it. The other issue with 3D Mark these days is that Skydiver isn't included anymore in the latest distributions. So I need to be careful there. Technically, you're supposed to run the latest 3D Mark whenever possible, but in the validation link and in the screenshot, you can't see the version. So I'm not aware of a workaround to get Skydiver working in the latest 3D Mark. So what am I supposed to do? As long as I have a valid and a screenshot, I don't think it should be an issue. Yeah, I might be misremembering it. It was, I think what ended up happening was I had one of the early generations of Ryzen Pro mobiles, and I think the CPU Z detection wasn't great, so it used to fully misdetect the entire memory tab. So it would detect single channel DDR3 and a certain set of timings. And yeah, you're right. Like if I think about it more, it doesn't really seem possible, but that's what I mean. The thing, like, I would never do this, but the thing is, that would have been valid for this comp, because how are they ever going to know it's not DDR, you know? But no, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm sort of against mobile benching anyway. So yeah, I think I would have never benched it, but it would have been fun just to bench it to see what kind of GTs you get out of it. Okay, I'm rebooting. So here you see actual boot codes. Before it just hangs on 15 all the time. Automatic repair, eh? So when's this comp even over? It's over end of Sept, so it's Thursday. That's kind of unfortunate because I always get my fill ups on Fridays. It would have been nice to have another Friday to bench this, but it is looking. I mean, never say never and all that, but it is sort of looking like OCN is safe-ish. But yeah, I have probably about 15 liters left, maybe even more, in a 35 liter back here, and I have a full 35 again, but I do need to do 940 Black Edition, and that's a 12-minute 32M run. So, and Tantaketa, friend of the stream, put up a really good score. So that's one of the, I would imagine, in terms of competitive, sort of like full pot 32Ms on the AMD side, it's probably one of the oldest ones. So this Raven guy, really good efficiency. So it's like the screenshot is corrupted. It's not there anymore, but he claims 669 C5. So that's really good efficiency. But second, we have Tantaketa at 5.9 gigahertz at 550 C4. So that's pretty sweet too. Okay. Let's GPU Z this stuff up. And I need to make sure I have a compatible driver. Okay, 2.40 will do for now. Oh, I think I have. Here we go. Okay, processor with graphics, A series, A10 series, A10 6800K. Download Windows 10 64-bit. 15.7.1 Windows 10. I'll probably even have that on here, to be honest. GPU drivers. No, just the Windows 7 version. Alright, let's download this crap. To DDU or not to DDU? That is the question. Let's see what DDU throws up in terms of how unclean these drivers are. Ugh. La-di-da, la-di-da. Show offers, no. Don't check for updates. Don't try to create a system restore point. No, that's looking pretty good. Let's not waste our time. There's basically no drivers installed there. Even though if this doesn't work, then the first thing I'll be doing is DDUing it. So maybe I should preempt myself. As you may or may not know, 3Mark doesn't even really launch without a driver installed, so I can't check if 3Mark is in a good state in that sense. I.e. Skydiver can be run, system info is there, my key is in input. Let's clean up our OS a little bit while we're waiting. God, I hate Windows 10. Whoever came up with this idea should be shot. No, I'm not advocating violence. It's a facetious statement. System info, that looks good. I mean, I can uninstall this graphics driver, which actually I shouldn't. So yeah, so on the other OS, this driver would stick on this detecting graphics hardware part. So I had to install it using the like DLM, like the cab method or whatever, using via device manager. So if this runs to the end cleanly, that could go a very long way towards everything working. Another option is chipset drivers. Yeah, it's gonna keep stucking on that, isn't it? What the hell? I mean, none of my bench rigs are online, so Windows Update doesn't really come into it. How does it extract so slow? That's what I want to know. So, and I've tried this. I mean, I'm starting to think it's missing chipset drivers, because the driver installer, I tried Crimson as well, so I tried the two different drivers and they both stick at the same step. Now I've also tried two different OSs, because if I had a clean driver installed, there's another way, there's another thing to try in terms of clocks, which is just via the driver. But since I only installed via the device manager method, I only had the driver without Catalyst Control Center. Now this is a similar installer type thing. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? I mean, I don't remember this particular thing happening at all on Asus. But the thing is, if it did happen and I was able to work around it with the BIOS, I probably wouldn't remember because I wouldn't care. I would just clock via the BIOS, So it's sort of almost a kind of chicken and egg type problem. Now this is a similar type installer to the GPU one, and since I killed the other one uncleanly, so I need to restart, and yeah, I mean, like I said, just another thing to try, which will probably not work. Yeah, maybe the overclocking interface towards it, maybe the way I installed the driver was actually okay in terms of using the driver, but maybe the interface towards the driver goes via the chipset drivers or something. Who knows? I'll certainly try it. I vaguely remember this sort of issue before, but having this before, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The good news is I put this on a different drive to the other drive, so if this method works, then I can fix the other one using this method as well, and then I can compare scores between 10 and 7, because this is what architecture is this again? This is very large instruction word 2.0 or whatever it's called again. Damn it, what is it called? It's stuck at the same goddamn step. I don't believe it. Yeah, GCN second generation. So GCN is like the newest thing that potentially doesn't gain from Windows 10 for GTs. Let's check. Maybe the hardware bot DB is wrong. Maybe my memory is wrong. Maybe both. Don't really have anything else. Ah, Terascale 3. Yeah, okay. So, oh, HD 6000. Yeah, okay, that definitely doesn't gain from Windows 10. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to pull the plug on this. But not to worry, because I have an XP sitting around right here. And let's do it. Should even have the right easy tune on it. Hi, Carter. Well, it started off being about iGPU clocking, but the iGPU won't clock, so it's now about 8G. Pretty much. Okay, so I've got 3 more chips here, so let's try and expedite this whole process. Let's go 1.55 at 1.55 at normal. Power saving off. And just go 20 degrees on the chiller. Well, it's cooled down outside. I don't want any compensation, but let's go 18 degrees on the chiller. So just for the sake of not swapping around OSs and stuff, I'll bin in W prime 32M. Obviously need to set IDE mode. Should probably switch to DGPU though. Let's do that. All right. Just make sure settings are still applied. I still haven't set IDE mode, have I? The hell am I doing? You're so easily distracted. Yeah, this is the better BIOS. It shows me pretty numbers during boot. It's very important to my quality of life as a bencher. Well, that was an hour well spent figuring out stuff that doesn't work. I mean, I've had this issue before where certain drivers will just not install on a certain OS, and the usual workaround I apply is just keep going older. So for this, I was trying 15.7.1 and 16 point something. I would just go to the 14 drivers, but I reckon that would lose me performance. And since I wanted to freeze the best chip tonight, I don't think that's really worth doing. I really need to get this newer driver working. I'll do it off stream. It's all good. Still not down at 18 degrees, but getting there. Make sure my easy tune works while it's chilling down. Actually, ooh, it's already loaded. So 1.55. La-di-da-di-da. I wanna, while I'm on this OS, I'm still waiting for the temperature to drop. Local machine. Software, Microsoft Windows. Current version, Explorer. Desktop. Delete the key ending in 54E. And now magic. Watch the recycle bin disappear. Voila. Okay, I think I can start clocking. I mean, $5G. Let's do 5.2. And 4 cores with no hyperthreading, so let's go 4 threads. It's a hang, I think. Yeah, it's a hang. Okay. We'll try. I mean, we can do all core valids maybe. Can take 2 data points. So there's not much in the vid. I mean, because it's like a bulldozer type architecture anyway, you probably want higher vids anyway. So the fact that they're also low. Yeah, let's try for valids. That'll keep us occupied. Yeah, I know. And it's the eternal problem we have over here. So you wouldn't believe, I mean, this is all speculation, right? But you wouldn't believe, I mean, my theory is that basically Australia gets all the same batch very often because the market is so small. So where's, see this? So, okay, so that one, that's the one that I potentially currently have in the system. So that's a different batch, but the other ones are all really close. Yeah, not ideal. I've definitely seen this phenomenon for things like the 7350K, for example, which wasn't really a popular chip amongst, you know, regular people, that all the batches are the same. Whereas like in Europe, all that has to happen is someone sells a chip from France to the UK, and then suddenly you have a completely new batch that's circulating around the environment. Nah, I don't really want PS check. I want the ironically named Easy Tune. Okay, that's a 5.2 valid. We're almost at the 18 now. 5.4, 5.5 is usually the area where these things give up the ghost. It's 5.4. Yeah, 5.4. Okay. Yeah, so FM2 is probably not the best example for this phenomenon. So it's most demonstrated with chips that overall had lots of quantities produced, but in Australia weren't so big. Like, I don't know what a good example would be. Let's say like 7600K. Not that I was ever bidding 7600Ks, but I could imagine that you would get all the same batch here, but in the US, it might be fine. Something like a 6800K. Yeah, maybe we're all in the same boat. Who knows? Okay, that's our valid out of the way. So 5.4. Now let's just put down 54x. Okay, so 5.2 was an. I'll try 5.1. Okay, there's our 5.1. Still running. Just really slow. Okay, so we have a 5.1 pass. I'll just give it another go at 5.2 and then I'll swap the chip. Let's go Easy Tune. Still running? No. Okay. Next chip. Let's go in order. Easy. Look at that nail polish job. You see it? Okay. Of course, I'm gonna get thermal paste all over my hands now. $13.20 sun. It's got paste on there. So this is another deloaded one. Sort of see it move around a bit. I totally just dropped that. Done in the same way. Okay. Need good mounting pressure here. You see that? One more turn on the screws made it post, and before it didn't. I'm watching that CPU temp. It's just the okay, maybe need to screw it down a little bit more. Still not ideal. We'll see how it clocks. I mean, and I'm sober, yeah. So the way New Life used to do it when he was still benching was he would reseal. It might take a few attempts, but he would reseal the lid actually. I don't really get why that was a boot failure. It doesn't, Okay, let me just dial that in separately. Gigabyte, thanks for being an ass. Yeah, so New Life would reseal it. It takes maybe a little bit of practice to align the IHS properly, but that's the way to do it. Is you want the absolute best paste under the lid, but you don't want that variance, especially when you're running it cold. You don't want that variance of having the lid move around or the paste move around, and then one time you have a good mount, another time you have a bad mount. Okay, well that didn't apply, did it? I mean, I don't know how applying 1.55 volt and disabling power saving is such a big drama. I don't like what's going on board. Yeah, I've run it naked before. I think it's, I don't know what to think really. I mean, I think it might be best for valids. So if you're trying to go for HE, then, and you're really trying to get the absolute last thing out of the chip, then maybe auto, maybe naked is the best, but for actual benching, I don't think you see any gains, and if anything, it just means you can lose your mount easier, which an undiluted chip that never happens on AMD pretty much. Like people who only ever run Intel talk about how, oh, you must have lost your mount once before, and don't talk about like it's not a thing for AMD, but it really isn't. I mean, on Intel you can have at stock, you can have low temperatures of like plus 80 on cold, you know, and my body's ready. Like on AMD, what can happen is you get a kind of like a tired mount. You know, you've been benching full pot for 3 hours and you lose 100 megahertz, you know, purely due to the mount. But that's not cracking. You know, on Intel you literally can lose the mount, like full on. You actually just have an insulation layer between your chip and your pot. All right, I want to see 43 multiplier, and I want to see 1.55 V core. There's the 43 multiplier. Now for easy tune. I don't get it. I really don't get. Well, I didn't apply it, so I missed that one thing. Okay, LLC, vCore, and then back into OS. Normal. I think I used normal on the other one, which is probably too low, but what? Oh, spend some time with the wife, eh? Wink, wink. No, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Talk to you later. Okay, let's redo this mount, for God's sake. Did I say I hated deleted AMD chips? All right, I want to see sub 30 degrees in bias at stock. Ah, 30 exact. It's better than before. We were at like 35. And now it what the hell? Now it likes to apply 1.55. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So remount means I can apply a certain bias setting. There we go, 1.524 with the droop. Okay. This is just gigabyte being gigabyte, I guess. So you can imagine what this fuck about is like on LN2. But there are some gains with deloaded chips, so I'm not going to dismiss it out of hand. But I sort of am hoping that these two undeloaded ones, one of them ends up being the better one, so I can take that cold and have a chilled out night rather than half a liter of Kingpin paste wasted. Come on, Easy Tune. For once, act like your name and actually allow easy tuning of overclocking parameters. Okay, we've got our 4.3. We've got our 1.55 vCore. This is exciting stuff, guys. This is exciting stuff. Let's go 5.1. There's 5.1, 5.2. Let's grab a valid. Five 5.2 is valid. Let's go 5.3. Five 5.3 is valid. Yeah, I think I've done a similar exercise before where literally just every chip was 5.4 valid, but okay, let's try 5.5. Let's do it. It applied. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, ever so slightly better. Now, if the working theory is correct that the previous chip I had in there is my number one chip, the first chip I had, that validated 7,840 megahertz. Whereas this is confirmed to be my second chip, which validated 7,940-ish. I mean, it said 7,940. I think it validated 7,890 or something, like 1 BCLK lower. So having it validate 100 more on ambient seems consistent. OC session with half a liter of paste. Going to 3D print a jack to hold my back plate. Yeah, I've done. I mean, I've put the heater back there before to space. I don't know what you use for a bench table. I've got the open bench table here. I've also got the like $20 Kingpin one, the like plastic key kind of one. That's where my streaming rig is right now. But yeah, there's not a ton of space. Anyone notice something? I'll just give a hint here. This line and this line. My first chip didn't magically come back to life. It was simply under 5800K IHS, whereas my second. So this is my good 5800. This is the world record 5800K, and now I know where its IHS went and where it went because I was looking for it, and I did actually throw out that other chip. So the chip I was just benching is my number 2 chip. That's good because that means I've now established a baseline with a chip I know does 7.9. Now I have 2 new chips that came in the past few weeks, and I can compare them to those chips. So cool. All right, one less chip to mess around with. I mean, they have the same like capacity, not the same capacity, but broadly the same look on the PCB and stuff, the same die size. So once you've swapped around the IHS, there's really not much to tell you which is which. Right, chip number 3. Nah, it's hot in here. So we had 2 straight spring days of 27 degrees. So under 30. It is actually 6800K. No surprise there with for an undeleted chip. I don't have the 32M yet for this chip, so that's the other consideration, is that I also need a good 32M chip. I think it's Wizardy has the gold there. Come on, Hardwarebot. Sub 10 minutes on Dozer is always nice. 7.6. It's not massive. If I compared that to my AM3 Plus stuff, 1.9 V core, 1150 on tight PSC, 3.4 North Bridge, just really good efficiency, I guess. That was for a gigabyte comp. I'm glad I had a backup plan for today. It can be sometimes quite frustrating when things don't work out. Got our 1.55. Now let's rattle off a few valids. I guess I can file this under 5800K hash 2, not 22. And now we just go 5.2. $5.3. Well, I can already say it's not much worse than your other chip. Oh, hang on, valid file delete. That's a new one. So yeah, in terms of 32Ms, I mean, it would be nice to get the 6400 plus for top AM2 plus 32M, but I'm not going to put that on my list as of right now. Same with AM1. I don't know if I'm capable of enduring that much pain. I want the FM1 platform record, FM2. I already have the 5800K, so that's like a CPU family record, I suppose. So FM2 platform record will be 6800K. FM2 Plus I don't care about, but then all of the AM3 unlocked chips. So I have the 955 Black Edition already, 965 Black Edition I'm working on, 970, 975. I still need 980. I already have 1090 Ti. I already have 1100 Ti. I'm working on 560 Black Edition. I have 565 and 570 Black Edition. I'm working on 555 Black Edition. I have 550. I'm working on. So it's sort of, I have like 6, and I'm working on another 6, something like that on AM3. For AM3 Plus, the overall platform record is High Vis Man at 7.9 G on an FX 8350. I just need the efficiency. I mean, it's a really good score, but I think it's certainly possible with the chip I've got. And then Ryzen, I don't know, Ryzen's a bit, because it's Windows 7, it just doesn't feel as special somehow. Same with Threadripper. Oh, it's like a soft crash, but it did 7.5, so okay. Now a quick whirl around W prime. 55x. Okay, that's good. It's a later batch as well. My only 1322. I wish I had an AM3 Plus to. What about? I do have. Oh, I have a lot of 1320s. 1320 is a good batch on the AM3 Plus side. Anyway, we'll that's good. We already have potentially something to run cold in a minute. It's all very interesting, guys, I have to admit. I was fortunate to find these chips local. There's usually not a lot of them around. Okay, so the other chip did 5.1, so I'll have to just confirm that. Not super pi, W prime. God damn it. Still running. I mean, 100 megahertz is usually like margin for error stuff, but it would at least make me confident that this chip isn't worse than the other chip. I mean, it might not, because all core binning is always funny business, because I've had chips that have been so out of whack. Like, I've had chips that okay, it'll stay at that. That we might just be sort of heat. Yeah, we might sort of be heat limited or something. Anyway, let's swap this thing around to our last chip. Might help to turn off the rig first. And the chip came out with the block. Not ideal, guys. So I had some Ethiopian food earlier, and it was delicious. It's 99. What's 99? Yeah, it's if you don't know, it's like you eat it with your hands, and it's all vegetarian, and it's really tasty. Takeaway, of course. Still in lockdown. Still no restaurants open for anything but delivery and takeaway. 64. Why is it hanging on 64? Oh, not so much hanging as actually posting through it. You had me up to the vegetarian part. Yeah, vegetarian food when done right is so good. Let's just make sure we really have a 6800K in the system. Come on, OS. Yes. Richland. It's always a good start. All right, valids first. So we'll call this number 2. Whoops. Straight to 52. Yeah, okay, the same glitchiness as the last one. Doubt we're gonna see anything different from what W prime. What do you think, guys? 1322 PNY or 1320 PNY? Which gets frozen? $20 has always been a good batch for me, but I'm tending towards number 4. Just a slightly higher vid might help. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe if it passes 52 W prime, then that's all a moot point, but somehow doubted. So this is actually this, and there is no mystery 6800K. All right. let's not screw around. Let's go straight to 52. Oh, we're getting loose. This could be the tiebreaker. Oh. That's it. That's our chip. I mean, I can try for 53, but what is that proving anymore? It's already the best chip. Multi-core chip at least. Let's see. Well, do I have? Is it? I mean, I think I already have all the W prime goals. Oh, I don't have 1024M, but that's just, I mean, what did I get? Was it like a 7.5 or something? 7.2. That's lame. Okay, 5.3 is applied. This will be quite something. Okay. What I'll do is I'll prep the system first, and then I'll just take a quick break to get another drink and stuff, and then we'll go on cold and see what happens. This is a total potluck thing, but I'm excited, guys. Getting that kingpin out. For God's sake. Yep. I'll give it a separate little clean. Don't want any mixing of thermal pastes. $3020 PNY. Could this be the FM2 HE? Could it be a true lottery we're about to embark upon? Yeah, so these were the results. Both of these newer chips did a 1 multiplier higher than the original one, and then I was about to guess which one to use. I was like, oh, which which batch sounds better. I was tending towards this one is anyway, because you want a highly coached chip for 8G. So even though it's a very slight different in vid, I was tempted by the chip number 4, but then W prime was the deal, the tiebreaker anyway. Did one higher multi in W prime, so let's do it. Should probably turn off. Yeah, I saw it. Well, I noticed it had slid while I was getting more parts. I just turned off the chiller. It's so hot in here, and the chiller was just running for no reason. So hopefully that will improve our thermals. I mean, we've got 3 rigs, 2 cameras, and a chiller in a small room, so it's not really surprising. Maybe I should tilt up a bit so the whole pot can be seen. There we go. Should disconnect the all right, we have a post. Yeah, pump is disconnected, chiller is off. Just quickly do this bit as well. Cool. All right. I'll put down. Once I get back, I just need a quick break for a drink. I'll be back, guys. We'll have LN2 right after this. What did I miss? All right. Gonna put some cold stuff in the thermoses. Okay. Heater's on. Rig's on. Let's pour. Oh, it's booting Windows. That's very kind of it. Still at positive temps. Probably shouldn't be doing this in my lab. I always check the heater these days. paranoid about unplugging it. Right, -10. I suppose we should talk about dual channel for valid. I've never seen it make a difference, and like I've done a shit ton of validations. So it's not the best validation OS actually. So what really makes a difference for validation? So if I wanted to really go for AG, like I was just one BCLK away on a chip, I would use a different OS. I would not use a heater. I would use dual channel, or sorry, single channel. But all of those things I found make less of a difference. I mean, combined, maybe they're significant, but all of those things combined probably make less of a difference than just having a better mount or delidding would. So I'm not worrying about it too much. But funnily enough, where single channel can make a much bigger difference is SuperPi 1M, believe it or not. On AM3 and AM3 Plus, it's a legit strategy to outclock yourself on single channel, CPU North Bridge, and core wise, and still get a better score. -30 right now. I think at -40 I'll zorch it a bit. Okay, so settings. Obviously max multiplier is 63. These are fake. These don't exist. 63 is the max multiplier on this platform. So with that in mind, you actually have to push BCLK quite a bit. And with that in mind, you need to keep your North Bridge low. Boost functions disabled. So what this yeah, so you've got two modules, and what this board offers is to disable the second core in each module, but that means PS check doesn't work. So I'm going to leave it on automatic for now. I think the sort of legit way of maybe pushing the last little bit out of it, if you know that core 0 is good, is to just go down to one core using msconfig. But this one core per module business doesn't really help you because you don't have PS check. You want to check the modules against each other with automatic core enablement, if that's a word, first. Memory multi on auto, timings on auto. Can I need to be able to explicitly disable. Yeah, I need to disable iGPU. Native ID is fine. Whatever, disable this. Let's give it a little zorch. No, don't go into OS. $20,070 channel points, nice. Me neither. Okay. Focus. Northbridge for validations. Extreme. Let's give both of these extreme. Let's just triple check that we really have the voltage headroom we want. So 2 volts, 2.1. Usually 2.15 is the max. Ooh, 2.3. Yeah, let's not go crazy. 1.55 to start. Everything else on auto. No, I do need to go up on Northbridge a little bit. Let's actually save this as AG. And I'm not gonna... Oh, it totally depends on the chip. I've had chips that scaled all the way up to 2.15 and actually the power supply was holding me back. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I think what you're trying to say is the 8.7G is done at just over 2 volts. So yeah, I think that's correct. But like, for a given chip, it makes sense to go up to at least 2.15 if it scales. Okay, let's... iGPU should be off now. So now, otherwise you'll have trouble with BCLK. So let's try 110. Yeah, so in the past I ran the HX, what's it called? HX 1050. And I need to be careful with my CPU multi actually. I should probably go like 35 just to be completely on the safe side. Northbridge, let's try and lock in 800. So on the HX 1050, I did have some like OCP OVP type issues. So now I have an HX 1200i in there. Maybe that gives me a little bit better stuff. So for validation, I mean, everything matters, right? Mount matters, paste matters, the circuitry in your in your house matters. IHS flatness, OS is big. Minus 80 now. Yeah, I would say for FX in general, you wouldn't see... I mean, funnily enough, FX multi-core benches scale as high as validation, which is just crazy. I haven't had anything die, but yeah, it's I mean, I've run GPU Pi at 2.15 volts before, and it scales somehow. I don't. You'd think that it would sort of get thermally limited, but it was quite happy. But that was a weird chip. Cinebench to probably the lowest I would go for like a full out Cinebench run is 1.95. The highest I've gone is 2.05. But I mean, saying that, you know, GPU Pi, if you're thinking of GPU Pi in the same sense, like GPU Pi on a modern platform puts quite a lot of pressure on the chip. but on FX it's like it just has the first version of AVX or whatever, so it's like it's a multi-core bench that doesn't really put much load on the chip. So just to illustrate the mathematics, 8,000 divided by 63 multiplier is 127. Alex the Dude, hi. So 127 is the absolute minimum BCLK I need to get 8G. But I want to have the possibility of picking a lower multiplier if that like makes sense, you know? Oh, that was a quick reboot there. Okay, let's boot into the OS at 140. Oof. That might be a boot failure. We'll have to check. Oh no, the camera moved. Whoops. Oh. Okay, I mean, I don't think we need the post display for validations. That's it doesn't make any sense really. Okay. I think 140, that certainly gives me enough different multipliers to choose from. Let's just do a boot. And get her down to full pot. Oh, that hurt. Alex the Dude, you chose an interesting stream to say hi on. This is an 8 gigahertz attempt. While the OS is still thinking about booting, I'll get some more LN. Is it sick that I'm thinking of the reference frequency record for this board? What is it? Let's check it out. Sick minds. Found me on Mix server. That's cool. Yeah, we're auto hosting each other. For those who want to go the other direction, Meku's in chat. That's his Twitch. Highly recommend it to check it out. The hell? Oh yeah, affiliate. Affiliate is cool. I remember getting affiliate. That was pretty nice. Oh, I already have the reference frequency record. Is this the same board? F2? I don't remember the F2 in the name. Oh yeah, okay, let's validate that. Cheap gold cups, guys. Cheap gold cups. No, why does it keep freaking fucking around like that? Okay. I don't know why I'm holding minus 140 just randomly. Let's full pot this thing. There we go. All right. What is a sensible first voltage to go for? I think I'll do 1.85 volt and check the different modules. Okay. Come on, Easy Tune, please live up to your name. Yuck. Okay, close Easy Tune, into PS check. Let's go second module, save this as, let's call it AG. Fid, where's our fid? I mean, something like that. Okay, maybe that was too much. Should really be working out these fids. Ginger, what do you think your job is next time we have an OC meet? You're gonna be the NN2 pourer. Why does everyone think 6800K is X99? The 6800K is like a really, I mean, from my point of view, maybe it's different in other countries, but it's a really rare chip that nobody bought because it was just a waste of money and time. The A10 6800K was an APU. It has so many uses. People put them into, you know, what are they called? Home theater PCs and stuff. No plan for CC. No plan. We're all locked down. I can't even go further than 5 kilometers from my house right now. How could I possibly plan to go across the country? Damn it. So that's 6. I'm suspicious the V-core adjustment isn't working, but let's just keep going. 6.2. 6.4. 6.7. Okay. Save that and make the intermediate one a bit higher. Like this maybe. 6.7. The end of your front garden. It doesn't feel like there's something going on here. It doesn't feel like it's applying the voltage correctly or something. I'm just gonna apply voltage straight from bias. I mean, what can happen? Off license in UK English, Mick. I mean, you can get crisps and things and soft drinks at a bottle shop. Come on, OS, let's do this. Right. Double check our PS jack. Yeah, this dynamic V core is screwing me around. Let's hope we can load our old. Oop. So 6.7 still good, fair game. Let's go half multis. 6.8. I mean, it's worth a valid just. I wonder if whatever it's called, Amd Overdrive or whatever works actually. Yeah, so that's 7. Our V core wasn't working, so it was actually validating 6.7 at 1.55 volts. Holy shitballs. It's crazy good. It's crazy good. So that's 7.3. Seven, 4. I just want easier valids, guys. Easier valids. 7.5, 7.6-ish. I'm more thinking vCore because EasyTune won't let me vCore adjust for some reason. Okay. Not. I mean, 7.6 at 1.85 could easily mean 7.8 at 1.95 and 8 at 2.05. So, or even better. So, and that's only the first. It's only the first module. I should probably write this down. So, chip hash 4. Let's write down, what was it? 6.7G at 1.55 volts. 7.6G at 1.85 volts. Question mark at 1.95 volts. Oh, my back hurts. Too much lifting of dewars and things. Let's double check that we've got our volt set, and I just gotta load up our profile. So here's our 7.6 again. Try for 7.7. There's 7.7. Seven, 8, 4. Getting close. You see that, guys? 7979 applied but hung. I'll go to 2.05. See, this is... Seven, 979 apply but hung. This is where it gets very interesting. Killing the fan, maybe they're killing the backplate here. I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. I mean, I still have voltage headroom and I still have a second module to try. I'll just sort of run through it pretty methodically, hopefully. Yeah, I'll try the other module all the way up to 2.05 as well, and then if it's really the case that this module is the best one, then I can come back to this module at like 2.1 or whatever. So there's our 7.7 again. There's our 7.8 again. So soft hang. Certainly stabler. Time to try the other module. Before I get too involved with this, I can kill some processes in the background. I can pull another RAM stake, whatever. There's a few different things I can do, but I'll try the other module first. I'll grab some LN. Okay. Yeah, I'll literally just change nothing. Just go with the other module and see what happens. Oops. Okay. Something weird was happening there. P states jumping around. I'll make a new PS check profile. I didn't like. I don't know what was going on there. It shouldn't do that. first things first, build a new profile, make sure it works the way it needs to work. What's going on here? Okay. One thing that can happen is Gigabyte tool interferes. So there's a 7.4 again. There's our 7.8 again. Same thing. I wish I could disable the second core in the module and still use PS check. All right. 2.1 volts, here we come. Yeah, craziness. I could run off a 1M after this. I'd be curious to see. Turn off easy tune. I'm down, Corn. This is what happens when you get a little bit desperate. So yeah, my current best is 4 cores, 4 threads. It didn't do anything though, so yeah, the sort of average situation turned out correct. Yeah, let's actually go down. We can also just bench max BCLK. Come on, OS. So we should see 2 cores now, which will be the first core in either module. But it causes PS check to bug out. Oh, maybe not. Ooh, what platform does it bug out on? Okay, this is a whole new ball game now. Of course, we need to create a new profile. 22 and 25, let's say, and disable this goddamn thing. Okay. I thought there was a platform where you couldn't do this. This doesn't usually give you gains, but I mean, never say never, but see, yeah, you have to clock them synchronously now. Which I mean, depending on how your cores do, might be what you like. This might be ideal, but more often than not, it's not. Screenshot that. It's recorded for posterity. 7992 with clock drift. Okay. Next thing I'll do is I'll go up in BCLK. So I'll do the lower multi, add 1 more BCLK and see how that reacts. And then 2 more BCLK. And then maybe it's just that multi that it doesn't like. Who knows? And I can still go. The thing with going down to 1 core in Windows is that the second core is still active. It's just not being addressed by Windows. So I don't know to what degree that really unloads that core. For sure, there's no tasks being sent to it by Windows, but like, is that enough to still let it idle at AG? I sort of I didn't build a, I don't think I saved a profile, did I? There isn't an obscure thing that lets you clock the okay. I should look into this more. I'm sure there's a way of doing it. Okay, so now I shut. I open another tool to apply that 1 extra BCLK. And I go back in. It's always, it's so funny. It's 8,000 megahertz. And it's always the last 100 that's really hard. Can someone explain that to me? Is it like a psychological thing? Like, I don't know. It's just so weird. $7,909. That's still not as good, right? Oh, that would be like 17 points more. 17 megahertz more rather than my previous one. Let's see if we can get that validated. Clock drift. 2 megahertz better. When's it gonna? Oh, 7,913. Nice. Okay. I'll have to make sure to rename this live stream once it's a VOD, because it's certainly not an iGPU stream. It couldn't be further from the truth, I think. Oops, it went back to up to the 50 multi. That's a bit. Oh God. Do you see that, guys? Do you see that? How close it is? It just didn't like that multi, I don't think. Okay, that was greedy. 7,952 validated. I think I keep going with this setup. I think I should try and keep going with this. See if we can get it off the drive. Yeah, but I think it clock drifted up to 7,966 or something. Please recognize the USB stick. You damn fool. Nah, okay. I don't really care if I beat my 7,9 something score with another 7,9 something score. It doesn't really appeal to me. So that was I think I just need to go 143. Right. No. We want this. Fuck off. Yeah, this is the one we want. $822. 822. Okay, it's not validated, but I consider that a moral victory. Okay, what do we do? Let's just keep eliminating the things that might be holding us back. Let's pull a stick of RAM. I said I would only do it if we were close, and we're really, really close. Yeah, down to 2 cores really seem to help. I can go down to 1 core in OS. Better grab some more LN. It doesn't feel real until it's validated. Like I did 7G on FM1, but it wasn't validated. I did like 699 something validated, and then 7G just screen grab. Okay, what can we do without? We need Explorer. Well, guess we could kill Explorer, but okay. Let's just give ourselves the old. I'll go on another tab. No. Let's try 2.1 again. Well, let's go in smaller steps. 2.775. Well, I did 8G valid and 32M and 1M on AN3 plus. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing this for tonight. It's already a 3-hour stream, but we have 8G screen grab. That's something. See how pulling a RAM stick did nothing. I think people there's a lot of like snake oil and overclocking, you know. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it doesn't help. Okay, so we have a little bit more vCore. Just need to go up to our favorite little BCLK again. I mean, you can validate without Explorer open, but I like to see the file pop up. Because sometimes the file pops up and then you have a lockup, you know? So, anyway, let's see if this did anything. Let's stay on the CPU tab. No. pulling the second stick will do something. Thanks for that injection of comedy. Okay, I'll go down to 1 core. Yeah. A lot of those benchmarks, when you go away from their like expected or standard settings, will score worse. Okay, so we need to do an msconfig modify and then just reboot straight away. Changing msconfig at 2.05 vcore, it's always fun, isn't it? Yeah, desktop res is usually important. Oh, I should disable maximum as well. That might actually hurt stability in this kind of case. Yeah, single core. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because, well, in this case, I'm already clocking up every core in the system to AG, but sometimes going down to a single core can make your validations worse because you no longer have the luxury of running system processes on the non-validated core. We'll see. I mean, I'll try anything at this point. I'll do a handstand if that gets me AG. Man, I've tried so many. It's hung? Okay. On reboot? What? I mean, didn't get warm or anything. Is it gonna have that setting applied? Oh, looking good. Now, how will PS check react to that? Not at all. Yeah, this is where PS check doesn't work anymore. 42. K10 stat, does that work? Hold on. Nah. Yeah. This is not a great way of setting multis. EasyTune likes to bounce around the power states too much, but it's all we've got now, really. And it's not even setting. All right. That still applies. Let's get a cheeky little record here. Ah, it's maxing out at 157 for some reason. Is it gonna hang this time? Might need a different OS. Might need, I don't know. I think the chip can do it. I mean, the other thing is it's not delitted, so maybe DirectDrive would do it. Or a different board. It's not very far away, is it? Tempted to sort of give up on it. I mean, I like to do a few loops of. I love how the "don't show this again" thing never works. Ooh. Random reboot territory. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, this is sort of the limit of what the VRM and stuff support. God, funny enough, the PCB is starting to freeze, even though there's a heater on there. Shoot. I think one solution could be Explorer kill. And just running blind. Just doesn't want to validate that, does it? Okay. I'm re-adding the second stick and I'm going to run some benches. Ooh. Board's having a minor freak out. Maybe that slot is dirty. It's throwing a 5A, but I mean, I was just casually attempting to validate at 2.15 V cores, so I shouldn't be surprised if the chip was dead. Okay. I'm calling it. I don't really have much of a choice in the matter. But here's that sweet 8022 megahertz. Anyway, 3 hour and 20 to 21 minute bench. It's time. Thanks all for watching. As Billseye would say, like, share, and subscribe. If the chip's alive, a deal it might just be enough to get it validated at AG. It's taken so much long. I don't know what it is, but even with the iGPU disabled, for some reason FM22 is much harder to validate than AM3+. But thanks all for watching. I'm gonna get some food. Yeah, fingers crossed. Thanks. Talk to you next week. Bye.